And here's everything I used, or everything you need. I ended up using a whole lot more the first time. So I have, you know, whatever, air gun, a 3/4, a 1 1/8 impact. Although you don't actually need the 1 1/8 impact, a regular one will do. So you need 1/2 inch socket. I ended up using a 1/2 inch breaker bar, 5/8 inch wrench, 3/4 socket, screwdriver just to kind of jimmy the airbag into place. And this is a 1/2 3/8 socket, and the bar is good just to bang stuff around. Jacks and jack stands, and then that's it. That's all you need to really get that guy out. I ended up using thread tape because I don't have thread seal, but it's rated for gas and liquid, so it should be fine. I'll put in the comments if not. Alright guys, so we're going to replace the front airbags on a 1999 Dutch Star. It's actually a 1998 chassis. First thing I did was build myself a big platform for the jacks. Lifted the coach well off the ground. And the steering wheel's facing this way, or the tires facing this way. Put a this is a 1/2 inch on the ride height adjustment. We'll just loosen that up. So we can pull this out. We'll do that in a minute. There we go. Pull that out because we need to get this out of the way for a bolt later on. And actually that also allows us to add or remove air as we please. So the airbag is held in by 3 bolts on the bottom, and then there's also the air fitting here. So that's a 3/4 nut. And because I like myself, I also, instead of just relying on these jacks in the motorhomes jacks, I also have these, what are these, 12-ton jack stands. So what I'm doing now is letting out all the air from the bag. You can see these bags are well worn. Alright, we got the wheel turned the other way, we got the jack down on the lower ball joint, and what that's doing is raising the suspension, giving us a little bit of room to access our bolts. So this one right here is a 3/4. I'm gonna get that off. Actually, so we don't even have to remove this. I didn't raise the suspension on the other side because I'm an idiot. Okay, we actually got the tire back the other way again because I'm an idiot. And we need to release the air line, which is, what is this, 5/8. So we'll undo the air nut coupling thing, and then we got to get the bottom thing here, and then we have access to our nut on the bottom, which, let me see what that is. It's a 1 1/8. So once that's unscrewed, just pull it off. Just, you know, just goes on the nipple. Just pull that off, and we have access to get the 45-degree angle thing off. All right, so using the same 5/8 wrench, I was able to get that, and we pull that out, and then now we can get that nut. All right, so to get that top nut, got a breaker bar. What is this? It's a 1 1/8. Okay, all right, that one was on there pretty good. So once that's off, then we can lower the jack, and in theory, this should come loose. Should just drop right out. And we're not quite there, so I'm gonna throw a big pry bar in there and just get it out the rest of the way. All right, I got my pry on there. They're out of the holes anyway, so we just kind of work it. Okay, we get the old one out. We get the new one sitting in here, so then we'll just lift it up and get it between the holes. We'll take this little cap off, and this will be the first one that we do. All right, so we're gonna put that nut on. I also jacked it back up, so it's kind of holding it in place. So once that's on and tight, the next thing we need to do is put this in, but it's really dirty, so we'll clean it up, add some thread seal, and also when you're using the socket wrench on the nut, don't rest your hand here, just in case the jack fails. The suspension would come crashing down and basically crush your hand. All right, once you get your thread seal on there, grab your 5/8 wrench, just thread her on in. Okay, once we got all that back together, then, of course, obviously attach the collar for the airline, and then we'll wait on reattaching this so we can fill the airbag or let it loose and adjust it, and then we'll come down and get the bottom using that method. And since I can actually reach that back nut from here, just went ahead and put it on using my 3/4 deep socket. Okay, now once the airbag's in there, then we have to get the bolts back in, which is probably the most frustrating process. I recommend getting some long threaded all threads, I think they're called, so you can thread it up through the hole and line it up here. I don't have them, so I'm kind of just using a screwdriver and a pry bar and just pulling on it to get it in the right spot to get it so you can get the bolts back in. Okay, so once you've tugged it and cussed it and smashed it into shape, then we'll just zip it on with the gun. All right, and then that should be it. We'll pull out we'll raise it up a little bit so we can actually get it off the jack stands, and then put her down on the ground, see what happens. All right, we're done. We're about to let her back down. So we got the jack stands out. It's just on the coach jacks now.